2000 Audi A6 2.7 liter twin turbo. Complaint is key on cold. The coolant temperature gauge already shows 90 degrees. Visual indicator just right now, or confirmation, yes, that's what's happening. So I have key on right now. I'm going to go to instrument cluster and then see what the computer sees for temperature. First check for fault codes, maybe. No fault code. Measuring block. Just going to scroll up until I see coolant temperature. There's ambient temperature. Coolant temperature 91 degrees. Okay, so that confirms that the needle is showing what the computer is seeing. If the computer right now were showing, let's say, ambient temperature, and the needle went up to 90, then I would say that there's an issue with possibly the gauge, the needle not sitting correctly. But that's quite the movement. Anyways, so right now it's confirmed that the sensor is telling the computer that it is 90 degrees. So I'm just going to go to engine module and check the same thing, because it's one sensor with one physical sensor, but it has two circuits. One circuit is for the dash, and the other circuit is for the engine computer. So engine computer has 4 faults: exhaust temp sensor 2, open or short; exhaust temp sensor 1, open or short to plus; and random misfire; and cylinder 5 misfire. So we're just going to leave that for now. I'm going to look at coolant temperature, and you can see coolant temperature is 32. So the engine is seeing correct coolant temperature. This vehicle is slightly warm. Customer just dropped the car off not too long ago. So it's most likely a sensor problem, coolant temperature sensor problem, not a dash / electrical problem. Where did I see it? So that's the temp sensor right there. Secondary air tube here. Somebody put some tape around here. Guess it's not holding. It's actually good that we can move it. So it nicely exposes the temp sensor. Push down on the connector, pull up on the release tab, and then pull the connector off. Or you can leave it connected and separated once it's up. Just use a flathead screwdriver or something. Pry the retaining clip out. You can reuse these clips if you'd like. It still looks in good shape. Relieve some pressure first. Tighten the cap back into place. I'm going to have the new sensor ready to go in. Have a pick ready so you can extract the old O-ring. You can see the O-ring didn't come out with it. I'm going to have to go fishing for that one. Loop the new O-ring. I use rubber grease. make sure the connector clicks into place. Lower the sensor into the coolant pipe. And install the retaining clip. Wiggle the sensor, make sure that it's seated correctly and tight, and that's it. Install everything else in reverse or removal. I'm also going to put some tape around here, and let me just see if I can find that O-ring. It has disappeared. That's how it was, that's how it's going to be. Good enough. See the small line here? Okay. Broken. This one sits here. This one's supposed to sit there. It doesn't. A final check is going to be the temperature of the instrument cluster. key on, it was showing 90 degrees fairly quickly. Key on is now, and you can see the needle is still down by the 60 degree mark. It's going to go to instrument cluster now and see what the temperature is. And then I'm going to compare it to what the engine sees. Fault codes, no fault codes, measuring block, I think it was 2 or 3. Coolant temperature 57 degrees. So let's see what the engine sees. Fault codes, those exhaust temperature sensor codes came back fairly quickly, so we're going to obviously tell the customer about those. And then measuring block 58 degrees Celsius, so they're plus or minus 1 degree difference here, which is good, or they're reading the same basically. So yeah, as far as the two items that the customer was concerned about, the temperature needle and the stumbling, the hesitation, misfires, those are items that are solved. Other things, we'll see when he or she wants to get those done. Thanks for watching.